All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. So, let's get the 5x5s out of the way. Hopefully, it won't last 8 minutes. But while I wait for that, while I wait for you guys to, all right. And Doc, thank you for the 5x5. Dwayne, thank you for joining us. Flown Grown, Henry, Catgirl, Eric, Ozark Prepper, Joe FW, WTC Sojourner, Michael, Lisa, Leona, Dobie, thank you for the 5x5. Susie, Beef and Chicken, Darcy, Countess, Kathleen, Dwayne, thank you for the 5x5. Jordan, Bush Pig, Water Tiger, Biffer, Grit and Grace, Crow, RM Life, thank you for the 5x5. No Shit Dumbass, thank you for the 6x9. Full of Hope, Todd Smith, Enough Already, Elaine, No Juan, Adriana, Joanne, thank you for the 5x5. Daniel, thank you for the 5x5. Kill It and Grill It, thank you for the 5x5. Finley the Dog, Timothy, Sir Gregory, Eyes Wide, thank you for the 5x5. And Gosmer? Gomers, sorry, thank you for 5x5. Randy, thank you for 5x5. All right, guys. And CJ, the Preparing Prepper. CJ, the Preparing Prepper. I've seen that the name before. I've seen it a ton of times. I'm just now, that's an interesting name. Anyway, so, guys, as it goes, a lot of you heard what happened in Colombia. Now, we're going to be talking about the Battle of Armageddon tonight. And it's not what we thought it was or what we think it is. Oh, it might not be what we think it is. Sorry. But the what you call it is going down. What's going on, wife? So what we the whole battle versus good and evil, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But Columbia College had a incident, if you will, earlier this morning, and a bunch of students broke into one of the halls and, wreaked havoc inside. Whatever. So Columbia College, we're going to be talking more about that later tonight on The Angry Truth. But as of right now, NYPD is making a move on the kids at City College, right? Two different colleges. So you had Columbia College, which is probably maybe 20, 30 blocks away from City College. City College is more uptown. City College is around 135th Street and Amsterdam, in that area. It spans a few blocks, actually. Anyway, with that, NYPD started moving in. There were a lot of cops. So if I could post a video, I'll put it up here. I'll put the short up here. But if not, I'll do it on a short, and you guys will see it later tonight. But anyway, NYPD responding in riot in progress. Mike Gunner, that might be the City College. Them responding to City College. But according to the wife and my daughter, it hasn't gone down yet. They're just rallying around the area. But, yeah. It looks like it's going to go down tonight. We shall see. If it does, I'll see if I could sneak my way in and around that area somewhere and see if I can film it. Vet Prep says they're making a move on Columbia. Oh, Columbia University is where they're making a move. Okay. But they're also making, like I said, I think there might be a dual thing going on. If they're making a move on Columbia, I can see them doing it on City College as well. Though City College, there are a lot of cops swarming the area. So we shall see how that's going to turn out. Mike Gunner said, yep, en route now. All right. The wife said they walked up to 40th Street and down to Amsterdam, which would have been west of them. And she also said they are walking towards Columbia. So it might be all of the what you call it. It might be the cops there. And now, I also saw on Twitter, Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it. I did see on Twitter that a bunch of protesters were running and trying to get inside Penn Station, and that they were going to join the protesters in Columbia, which made no sense because I'm like, well, why would they run into Penn Station? Like, they were running into the it looked like they were running into the post office, which is across the street from Penn Station. So I don't know what the hell was going on. But I'm looking at the video and I'm like, that's not Penn Station. Penn Station's the other way. NYPD en route now, not me. Very good. All right, so I guess it's going to go down. Listen, again, I'm going to talk about it later tonight on the Angry Truth channel, guys, but this is what happens when you allow children to act like assholes and you don't correct it. When you let them do what they want to do, this is what goes on. So Angie said that the police were in riot gear but got back in their vans and left. So they're probably going over to, like everybody's saying, they're probably going over to Columbia. Now, we were talking about it in the firehouse earlier today, and a lot of people, guys are annoyed. And at first I was annoyed by this, sorry. At first I was annoyed by this as well. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it more on the Angry Truth channel. But bottom line, guys, is that the colleges raised this. They taught this. This was their chicken coming home to roost kind of deal, right? If that makes sense. But anyway, that should get out of hand. And if it does, like I said, I'll jump in the car, I'll head down there and see what I could catch. I won't be able to get onto the property, but at least I'll be able to see them dragging people out by their hairs. Hopefully. Star Fury, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Mercers. So, guys, Charles says, I have a gently used chair. Are you interested? This chair is fine. I had to get another chair because the other one shit the bed. The one that I sit in at the dining room table, that one shit the bed. But transfer Palestine. Yeah, Tucker, that... They didn't evict them, they're just pushing the protesters out. All right. Ancient Man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And Star Fury, thank you for the donation, guys. I always appreciate it, as always. So, let's talk about a tougher subject that's probably going to put me on a couple people's shit list. So be it. But I'm going to start out by saying I am not religious, right? I'm not super religious, right? I'm starting to obviously lean in that direction because of the shit we are seeing. We are seeing, guys, some outrageous nonsense in the world today. And all over the world. But more importantly, before I run down a list of shit, we're also going to talk about MS-13. They're becoming a big problem. We're going to talk about them in a little bit later tonight as well. But they're growing into a major concern. And that, guys, is going to be a fight. And when I mean a fight, I mean like all hands on deck kind of fight. And I'll put it out there now. If they move into your town and you need hands or a body, just let me know. I'll be there in a heartbeat. But the MS-13 thing, guys, is going to be tricky. It's going to be super tricky. We're going to talk about that a little later. Anyway, with all of this, guys, with everything going on, it seems like every day I turn the news on, or rather on my computer, or on my phone, I turn the news on, and I'm bad choice of words. I'm reading a lot of kids being offed by their parents. And a lot of guys, especially at work now, we're responding to more of this kind of shit. So the captain of the engine was talking about a couple of situations that he'd been in, and they involved kids. Now, I'm not going to get into details with any of them. For specific reasons, I won't get into them, obviously. And I wasn't there, but anyway. And then you look at the newspaper, and then you see more kids just being dispatched by their family. Full of Hope, thank you for the donation. And bottom line, guys, is that the battle of good and evil it's been on for probably centuries, but it seems to be more evident, especially now, especially everything that the Bible is saying and everything we're witnessing. We're like, there's got to be some truth to it. It just has to be, unless somebody is playing this out, like the World Economic Forum, or somebody's playing this out because they read it in the Bible and they want to see how far this goes and they want to see what we do and how we react. There's always that option. And guys, I keep every option open. I don't sit there and I don't think just one way and then I run with it. I entertain a lot of different options, right? I entertain the Bible, that we are living out the times in the Bible. But I also entertain the fact that maybe somebody's looking at the Bible and actually enacting the script, and they're running these things according to what's supposed to happen in the Bible. I think on both angles. But anyway, they are going after the kids first. And they're breaking the kids down, guys, by any means they possibly can. We have kids being kidnapped on a daily basis. Daily. People saying, oh, once they get into the industry, they disappear. They're gone forever. Well, if that many kids are missing, there has to be a location that they're keeping all of these kids. And the crazy shit about it, guys, is that the higher ups, the politicians, the WEF people, they know where these kids are. You got agencies like the FBI, the CIA, you name them, and different agencies from around the world. They know where these kids are. They know who's running the show. They know that the Russians are involved, Russian mafia, sorry. They know that the Albanians are involved. They know that the Muslims, the Brotherhood, they're involved. They know that all these people are involved, and yet they do nothing about it. That's why I start to believe, guys, that the attack on kids is far more deeper than what we're looking at it as. And thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. It has to be, right? So how do you break down society? How do you break down a person's being? You go after the kids first. And they're doing such on every level. Buy the book, man. Thank you for the donation. I mean, I thought, and this is, I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. But I thought we were supposed to, if put in a position, sacrifice our life for kids. Even if you didn't know that kid. Right? So you saw a kid in a shitty situation, you ran over there to help him out, and you killed, you died. You died from it. You died trying to help the kid out, or you helped the kid out, but you still wind up not making it. You got badly hurt. I thought that was the assignment. I thought that's what we were put on this planet for. And not all of us are supposed to do it, but a lot of us, right? We see something going down, we're supposed to intervene. At least that's what I thought. But that's not what's going on, guys. What's going on is something entirely fucking different. And I don't understand. And again, the whole kid thing, it bothers me to no end, because I'm just like, yo, you got people doing some wicked shit to kids out there. Listen, there are things that are going on with kids that I think 90% of you guys on here cannot comprehend. And I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm just saying that there's some heinous shit that out there, and what you read in the paper is not even 5 or 10% of what actually happened to those kids. And there's some of you out there, the other 10%, that have seen this wicked shit. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. But the good versus evil, not only are they doing this to kids from an outside aspect, right? From these parents offing their kids or treating their kids badly, or starving their kids to death. That one girl who was like, I mean, she wanted to be 20-something years old, but they left her on a couch in her own, piss and shit, and she starved to death. I mean, like, and they said she had free reign in the house. How come the girl didn't get, who the fuck knows? But the parents didn't realize what was going on with her, and they treated her like garbage. I don't understand, right? And then you have people that are throwing their kids in ovens, throwing their kids in microwaves. They're just really, really treating their kids like shit. And something is wrong. Something is really wrong. And then it dawned on me. Dawned on me like someone hitting me in the head with truth. I'm like, this is how the Armageddon goes down. This is the battle between good and evil. Because they're breaking down kids from that one aspect. Now, there's many aspects that they're attacking kids. And then they're attacking souls. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. Not so much souls, but people. Sorry. So now you have that aspect, right? You have the really evil element. All right. Then you got the schools, for example, telling kids that they could change their genders. And that they could be whatever they want to be. If you want to be a cat, put on a cat suit, hang out in the bathroom, take a piss in the litter box. And yes, that is going on. And they are telling kids that they don't have to trust their parents. Or rather, they're telling the teachers are telling the students not to trust the parents. That you don't have to share everything with them, but you can share it with me. They are breaking apart the parent-child relationship. That is an attack. That's another front attack, sorry. That's another frontal attack. Breaking the parent-child relationship. Teachers telling their students, listen, if you want to be Sarah while you're here, okay, George, if you want to be Sarah, you could be Sarah in this classroom. But when you go home, you got to be George again. But don't tell your parents, because this is between us. Then you got teachers doing that bullshit. This is between us. Remember growing up, when we used to watch those shows where adults were like, it's between us kind of deal, and the parents would always, even the TV shows were like, do not trust an adult that tells you to keep it secret between you and I kind of deal. And that's what a lot of the teachers and the guidance counselors are doing today. And they're breaking the kids' psychology by telling them it's okay to be something they're not. Meanwhile, if a kid runs around thinking he's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, or Superman, Clark Kent, they're like, no, that's not real. You can't do that. But a kid can absolutely run around the street acting like Lucinda. And they break that spirit of the child, or they mess up that spirit of the child, because that child's spirit is now corrupted with the BS that these teachers are teaching the kids. That lends a little bit to what's going on in the colleges today. But again, that's a different situation. We're going to talk about that a little later tonight. But when society, guys, is disconnecting the parent-child relationship, when you have governors telling kids over the age of 13 or 14 years old that they can make certain decisions on their own without their parents' permission, that is another browbeating, disconnecting of child and parent. And it only gets worse from there. The things that are going on, guys, is just, they've been attacking the kids. And while we are looking at the whole gun violence thing, the multiple shooter situations or the active shooter situations going on when they're in school and they're hurting kids, and we're all looking at that as that being the sole evil, that's not just it. There's a multitude of things or events that are going on, or situations going on, where they're attacking kids on different levels. And yet we are sitting here acting like a lot of this shit isn't going on. Politicians are trying. I think they're full of shit, a lot of them, if you ask. Even the Republicans, they're full of shit. They're like, oh, we have to make sure that these kids, get the medical treatment they need so that they don't commit suicide. Which is bullshit, because there has been more cases now of kids who have transitioned and still put themselves to sleep forever. So now, guys, you attack the kids, you corrupt the kids, you corrupt the soul. That soul or that person becomes an adult. That adult is now super corrupted. They spit on the Bible. And it's a holy war as well. Because I noticed, guys, that they will spit on the Bible, they will burn the Bible. But if someone puts a Quran in their face, especially now with these kids praising Palestine, they put a Quran in their face, it's all fine and good. They're telling these kids, oh, you should wear your little burqa things when you're out protesting with us. And some of the kids are wearing them. We are in a battle, guys, and it didn't dawn on me until probably yesterday or maybe earlier today, rather. Sorry. And I'm like, we are in a battle, and we've all missed the signs. Not all of us. Some of us did, including myself. Some of you guys probably saw it a while ago. But yeah, we are being corrupted, guys. Every turn that can be made. For every twist and turn, we're being corrupted. The kids are being corrupted. They got TVs telling kids, oh, it's okay to be trans. Oh, you know, every movie has a lesbian couple or partner now. Every movie. Every movie. Seriously? They make it seem like the world and everybody in the world has a gay friend. You know, and as an adult, I learned to deal with it because I know the difference between the bullshit and not. But that's a different subject for a different day. But the shit, guys, that they want us to be distracted with, we're being distracted with. We're being distracted by this college bullshit. You know what? Fuck those kids. Those kids are going to learn a lesson the hard way. I mean, right now, no one's smacking him on the wrist, though I did watch a kid get maced, and that was pretty cool, because he was crying and shit. And then when you get maced, you're going to cry automatically, because that shit stings. Nonetheless, the kid was crying, and it was an awesome moment, because he learned a lesson. But these kids need to be taught more lessons. Their parents are not teaching them. I know a couple parents had said, listen, my kid's in that group in there marching and shit. I'm getting in there. I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to hide. I'm going to get myself deported in there. However, I'm going to have to smuggle myself in to get my kid out. And as I'm bringing my kid out, he's getting a beating on the way out, or she's getting a beating on the way out. Parents are saying this shit. But these kids, guys, are broken. And it's funny because whenever these kids are presented with the Bible, or this generation rather, they look at the Bible, they spit on it, they burn it, they do all kinds of shit on it, and I'm like, yo, listen, even when I was agnostic, or atheist rather, I was atheist and agnostic, and you see the stages, guys. I was atheist, I'm like, nope, there's no God. Then I had my first son, my oldest guy, he's 25, right, or he'll be 25 this year. 26, no wait, my God, how old is he? 25, right? And he's 25. And when I had him, I was like, yo, there's got to be a God. There has to be a God. There is no way a little speck of nothing that you can't see with the naked eyes grows into this little baby that grows into this man. That's an impossibility, right? That's an impossibility for there to be no God for that. So then I became agnostic, ride the fence. You know, because that's what some of us bitches do. We ride the fence. We're like, oh, I'm not sure. But just in case he's real. And even when I was an atheist, I knew that burning the Bible is bad. I was just like, yo, you're burning the Bible? Do you want to go to hell? Do you want to get your dick cut off, shoved in your mouth, and then into hell? Like, there are a million fucking things that can happen. And now people are outwardly doing that because they know that it's bad. But the look on their faces, guys, when they go out of their way to destroy the Bible, says to me nothing but evil in their face. The smirk, the look in their eyes, the glare. I know what evil looks like. I've seen it a couple times. Not a whole hell of a lot. Not a whole hell of a lot, but I've seen it a few times. And I know what the fuck it looks like. And I've seen these people do it, but I've seen people who watched the Bible burn, and they had a look on their face like, I don't think we should be doing this. But anyway, that in itself, guys, is a huge problem. And again, I go back to the sex trafficking thing because I'm beyond annoyed. I mean, like, guys, imagine you know the players of everybody involved in the sex trafficking industry. You know the names of the player. You know exactly who the fuck is who and who's diddling what kid. You know where they're going. You know which houses and which communities hold these kids. You know which group, the Russian mafia, the Albanians. I'm pretty sure the Italian mafia is getting into it, though I heard they weren't, and I heard the Yakuza was actually not getting into it, but they were having a problem within their own organization. So, I heard that a few months ago, actually. I could be wrong. But I heard they didn't want to get into that because they're not about that shit, but they're having like a civil war inside of their own thing because people want to get into that because that's money. You got the Mexican mafia. I'm sorry, Mexican gangs, the South American gangs. They're into it. All of these people, guys, are into it. They know exactly who the fuck is who. There's a problem. There is a big, giant problem, guys. I don't. The excuses they use, the excuses they tell us, oh well, because they disappeared, we can't find them. They got satellites that can find people, but you can't find kids. You can't track these containers and do a sweep over them to see red warm bodies. Whether it's Chinese migrants or kids, and it doesn't matter. Free the motherfuckers. But something isn't right. Something isn't right. All governments around the world are full of shit. And sometimes they have a fall guy. They have a guy that jumps on a sword, and they're like, yes, this dude here, he's going to fall on the sword for us. We're going to blame him for the missing kids, for, the 10 missing kids. There are tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of missing kids. I know some of them. A lot of them are dead. Just Arizona said NYPD officers enter Columbia campus. Huh. If I was NYPD, thank you for that. I just got a notice. NYPD enters Columbia campus to move anti-Israeli agitators. Cha-cha-cha. This is going to get interesting. Oh, well. One side of me was going to go down there and film it, but I think this is a little more important. Fuck those kids. They're going to learn the hard lesson. A lot of them are going to get expelled. A lot of them are going to get kicked out. It's fine. This shit's a little more important. So, guys, you have satanic rituals now involving kids. In fact, MS-13 a couple of years ago was doing this shit. I just found out about this. And I thought it was recent. I looked it up. It was a few years ago that they were doing this shit, and they're still doing this shit, and they're doing it a lot. So again, all of the kids in the sex trafficking industry, some of them end up with MS-13 and that Venezuelan gang, and they're being used and raped and killed and drugged. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And everybody knows who they are and where they are, and yet nothing's being done. But meanwhile, me and 3 other dudes went to the spot and murked everybody in the spot, took the kids out. I guarantee you we would get in trouble for that. Oh my God. Why did they do that? Look at the weapons they used. Those are illegal. Let's put them in jail. Now we're fucking toast if we go to jail. Because, yeah, they're going to fucking screw us if we ended up in jail. And I think that's what they want. But anyway, this back and forth evil shit, guys. JB Garage, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And evil is rampant, guys. And that's my point to the whole thing. Evil is running amok. I almost pray sometimes that when they do that shit with their cars and they're backfiring, the car just explodes in a million pieces. Oh, they're going into the Hamilton Hall. Very good. I hope the cops are yelling, "Get some," as they're whipping these kids' ass. But anyway. Yeah, guys. Like I said, this is not... There's something wrong, and the attack is on the kids. Now, here's the bigger issues. You got celebrities convincing kids to celebrate Satan. You got a lot of celebrities, guys, a lot. And I didn't, not that I wasn't buying into it, I was sort of ignoring it because I was just like, yeah, no, not really. But now I'm looking at celebrities, guys, left and right. Rock stars, or musicians, really. Dress up in some satanic outfits and or throwing up satanic symbols. You got Ice Spice. Now, a lot of you don't know who she is. I don't know why I know who she is. I'm a little upset that I know who she is. But this chick isn't that talented. She is ugly as the day is fucking long. And yet, I realized, and somebody had said this. It was actually Cat Williams. He said it on one front. He goes, people who rise to the top fast made a deal somewhere along the line. And he doesn't get into what that deal is. But I was reading between the lines. And I'm thinking, well, a lot of these celebrities are coming up too fast. They have no business coming up there. And here they are, tap dancing in front of fucking the screen. NG says, NYPD raids Columbia University. All right. And anyway, so these celebrities, guys, they're getting famous fast. They are too fast. They're not working as hard as they used to. And in fact, old celebrities are saying these kids are just popping up on the scene all of a sudden, and just like that, they're famous. Now, some people will say, well, there's YouTube, there's this, there's that. Yes and no. Again, Ice Spice, man, what the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? And I'm like, how is this? Like, yo, she's all like, yo, man. Wanda's like, you listen to Ice Spice? No, I don't. But she happens to be on my phone when they talk about people who do satanic shit. And in fact, when she was at the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift, I thought that pairing was odd. I'm like, wait a minute, Ice Spice is hanging out with Taylor Swift? Ice Spice, the most Negroist chick in the world, is hanging out with the most whitest chick in the world? I'm not buying that fucking, ham and bread sandwich bullshit. Like, not at all. And then Ice Spice is sitting there and she's throwing up satanic symbols. She was wearing a cross upside down. Some people are like, well, wearing a cross upside down does. Yes, the fuck it does. It does. And she was wearing an upside down cross, throwing up satanic symbols. But we're all missing that. We're all worried about the college kids and them protesting their bullshit. We got kids that are under attack constantly. We have to get them away from social media. We have to get them off social media. And now, not tomorrow, not let my kid get one good look at it, off. And if you have to throw their phones into the fucking river, then do that too. Doesn't she have the Downs? What's the Downs? Like the retard syndrome Downs? Or like there's another, that means something else? But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not buying any of this shit, dude.
Protesters are acting in solidarity with Quad's three demands for divestment.
Oh, so the protesters were demanding food and water. If I was a college president and they demanded food and water, I would get on the mic and laugh them out of existence. I'd be like, yo, you crazy? You broke into my building, you damaged the building, now you want food and water? I hope you fucking guys die of starvation and dehydration. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Matter of fact, we're going to turn up the heat in the building now and sweat them out. Because it ain't that fucking cold outside anymore. Sweat them the fuck out. Mike Gunner said 1013 just called NYPD. Is that 1013 or 1085? 1085 is, his officer needs assistance as well. Give me 2 seconds. You tracking what's going on at the college? Got a buddy in NYPD just seeing if they're, and I know they're off, but I'm seeing if they're tracking as well. But anyway, so guys, it's all bullshit. And listen, there's a lot of celebrities, guys, a lot of celebrities that believed in Christ, who saw Christ. Jim Caviezel, right? After he did the what was it, The Last Temptation of Christ? Was that the one? The Mel Gibson one, right? After he did that movie, he gave his life to God, Jesus. And he was automatically 86 from the Hollywood list, right? A lot of these actors, guys, once they start believing in Christ, once they give their life to Christ, they're automatically cut off the list. And Susie said 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. 3, 1 through 5. I'll definitely read that again. Actually, I got to get in touch with Bear because I got the Bible that Bear reads from. It's not the King James version, and there's a lot of stuff in there that's not similar to the King James version. Yeah, Kevin Sorbo was another one. Who's the other guy? Who was the other guy? He's the actor with the blonde hair and like crystal blue eyes. He was another one that was 86 from Hollywood. Again, because they believed in Christ. They gave their life to the Lord, and look what happened to them. They're in B movies, and they don't act anymore. And some of them, and actually one of them, he didn't want to sleep with women anymore. He was just like, yo, I don't want to do love scenes. I don't want to do this. And because of that, they told him no. Get the Bible app. I will. Patty C, thank you for the donation. Dean Cain, right? Is that it? Thank you, Hudson Valley. That's who it is. Yeah, Dean Cain. Right, right. There's Dean Cain, and then there's the other one. Sorry, there's a hold on. There's there's an easier way to look this guy up. Let's see. He was in Band of Brothers. He was the lieutenant. Neil McDonough. Neil McDonough. He's the other one that gave his life to Christ. And he was out of Hollywood. Kirk Cameron, right? Another one. Look what happens. PNW Prepper. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. Johnny Depp. I know Dave Chappelle, definitely. Kevin Costner, I wasn't aware of that one. Yeah, Kirk Cameron, Kevin Zerbo, right. These are the people who, and guys, what does that mean, right? That means something. Ricky Schroeder, all right. That means something, guys. If these people gave their life to Christ, and now all of a sudden, they can't act anymore, they can't get any jobs, they're being told, fuck you, there's a fucking issue there. There's a big problem if that happens and Hollywood is like, no, enough. We're not going to put you in any more movies. I see everything wrong now. I mean, everything wrong. Was it The Passion of Christ or The Last Temptation of Christ? I'm pretty sure I got them mixed up. One was Mel Gibson and the other one was, I think The Last Temptation of Christ was when I was a kid. And then I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But yeah, guys, so all of that being said, yeah, this is bad. And then the other thing is the mutilation of kids. There was a scientist, guys, a French doctor, not a scientist, doctor, that just came out with a study or a finding saying that this whole thing with kids and the transgender and the gender reassignment is the biggest lie ever told to man. I'm going to do a video on that in the Angry Truths channel, but this guy came forward, this scientist came forward and was like, came forward, was like, yo, he's like, we're mutilating kids for no reason. Why else, guys, would they mutilate kids? Why would they put kids in a position to chemically castrate them and then physically mutilate them? Why? Because they're attacking kids from another angle. They got kids that they want kids to wear a dress and tell them that it's okay to wear a dress and play with Barbie dolls. No, it isn't. Then they want kids to believe that they're the opposite sex when they're not. And then you have kids gone missing on a daily basis. Kids being put to sleep forever by their parents on a daily basis. And then you have the corruption of man. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be rich. And I tell you guys, money is absolutely the root to all evils, because with money, you can do a lot of good. You can do a lot of good with money, but you can do a lot of bad. And a lot of people get money by that any means necessary. I can't stand that shit. Man, that was fucking... Ugh. I can't stand when people like, yo, this is stupid. You know, this is like, I'm going to get money by any means necessary. What the fuck does that mean? What, are you going to sell your ass? Any kids are like, I don't... When people say that shit, it's just... and granted, guys, if you do the right thing, the money will come to you if you do the right thing. But apparently, there are people... Now the shit's on at City College. While we're all looking at Columbia, now the shit's going down at City College. Crowd outside City College continues to rally in the light of a colored flare with smoke streaming past the Palestinian flag. I think people should just burn the Palestinian flag just to teach them a lesson. I'm all for it. Anyway. Guys, this is... They're corrupting us every possible way they can. Every possible way they can. And they're going after the kids. They're hitting this generation of kids out there now. You got kids out there who believe that Jesus was a fraud, that he didn't exist, that it wasn't real. Okay? In the same breath, but Jesus being real and Jesus loves everybody, there's another ideology that someone brought up to my attention, and I thought it was a good point. If Jesus forgives everyone and God forgives everyone, then it doesn't matter if they don't believe in him or not. It doesn't matter, according to them, it doesn't matter if they do evil, they're going to be forgiven. I don't know. There has to be consequences to doing evil shit. You can't sit there and diddle kids and do bad things to kids and then, well, God's going to forgive me. There has to be consequences. Because if that's not the case, then why is everybody right? It says don't be deceived. But again, that's another school of thought that people have brought up. And I'm like, I said, you're right. If he loves everybody and everybody is always forgiven, you know, but yeah, I mean, listen, as a person, you have to live your life good. I don't give a fuck. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, there is no book. There is no God. You still morally have to live your life right, good, not hurt other people, not hurt kids, not push people down a flight of stairs because they're white, or punch a lady in the face because she reminds you of her ex-girlfriend. I heard that excuse. I was like, really, dude? You punched that old-ass lady in the face because you reminded... Anyway. Expects you to stop sinning. Right, exactly. So if he expects you to stop sinning, then there is consequences. You are forgiven if you repent. Right, but there are people who, again, I've heard from religious folks. Listen, guys, I've spoken to different religious sects in this country, right? I mean, different Christians from different sects, different groups, and they all have very different ideologies, and then a lot of them have the same ideology, right? So some people like, if you repent, he will forgive you. But if you repent in the last hour, how does that absolve your soul from all the bad shit you did? Listen, you got to be a real psych patient to do the shit like Hitler, to do the shit he did, and in the last hour goes, oh God, Jesus, you know, and then give your life to Jesus at that last moment. That doesn't make any sense. But they're not coming back. And yeah, and you guys, yeah, you just have to live a good life as a person. Again, like, just put the Bible aside. You still gotta do the right thing. The book of John and the Bible. Greg Thomas, I will. You still just gotta do the right thing. Just the right thing. You know, but then, and then again, the other side of the other side of the coin too, guys, that I often bring up is that people, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever religion, they do bad shit in the name of God. Right? And then people go, well, why are those priests diddling kids? Well, because those fucking priests are savages, and they're going to get theirs. Just because they're wearing the robe and the cloak, and that they're in church every Sundays or every day, confessing their sins, you go. I mean, like if religion, no, sorry, if Jesus is also human as well, there's only so many times you could get yourself into trouble. You really can't. I mean, like, but then again, your kids, right? Your kids can get into trouble a million times. You still love them, right? Don't get me wrong. Any of my kids did something heinous, I would probably right then and there be the end of them if they did something heinous. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I don't follow. And then there's a lot of different comments and ideologies in here as well. So again, all I know, guys, is that if a voice speaks to you and tells you not to do this and not to do that, that's the voice you're going to listen to, right? I mean, you grow up, and a lot of the times as a child, there was a voice, like the voice that told me, don't go down that slide. It's not there. But in my head, I'm thinking, like a child, imaginary slide, right? Some of you heard the story, that's the slide that I fucking went right off of because I thought it was there. But a voice in my head said, don't do it. I'm pretty sure it was God. And God was like, stop. And I was like, I got this. And what happened? I took the express right down to the ground. And I told you, that's where my father was staring at me. And I think he was watching a little longer than I thought, because he ran over fast. And I think he was like, I heard him say, Jason, don't. Before you know it, I was on the ground. The air knocked out of my chest. I said, the air knocked out of my chest. And I'm like, shit, man. What the hell? But again, that voice told me no, and I decided to be like, fuck that. I'm going to go against it. I was also 5 at the time. Who the fuck? And again, this is the same kid who thought he was Superman, right? I put a little bandana on my neck. I thought I could fly. And I went right off the couch onto the floor. Right? But again, the voice was like, don't do it. I did it. There I was. I'll tell you, that ground came up pretty fucking fast, man, hitting the ground. Like, holy shit, reading to him. But anyway, guys, cause and effect. And that was pretty much like my mother's outlook on it when I hit the ground. She was like, you're not going to do that shit again. And I was like, nope. Dude, you do have to learn the hard way in certain things. But, guys, back to everything from the beginning about the good and evil shit. There's definitely a war going on. There's definitely something just not right. And we are wrapped up in bullshit right now. I think before social media, we had a better grounding on things. A lot of people had a better grounding in their religion. And then social media came, and I think social media, for the most part, disrupted. Now, yes, there are a lot of Christian-based social media accounts out there. I've seen some of them. A lot of them are good. A lot of them, I think, speak to me in a certain manner. But before social media, guys, I think we were able to focus on a few things at a time. And now we're being shoveled this shit fest. And we're all over the place. We're everywhere with this shit. And we're missing the picture, or the bigger picture, of this corruption that's going on with the kids. This influencing kids with satanic rituals and symbols at concerts. You got guys going, I'm bringing my daughter to a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know if she does anything satanic there, but I know Ice Spice does. I know that other kid does, the one where the guy had a couple people die at his, what was that rapper's name? The one where he had a bunch of people die at his concert. He had a lot of satanic symbols going on. And so people are taking their kids to this shit as well. So they're being influenced, guys, with satanic rituals and symbols. And here's a bigger red flag if I ever seen one. The raising of demonic statues and churches are popping up all over the nation. And more people are following these churches. And don't get me started on the Church of AI, guys. Don't get me started on that shit. It's just going to piss me off. That's another, I think, demonic disguise, if that makes sense. But these churches and these statues that are being raised all over the country, guys, they are, Travis Scott, thank you guys. Thank you, Vincent and Adriana. Travis Scott. They're popping up all over the place, guys. And yet, people are being shamed for their Christian beliefs. Not Jewish faith, not Muslim, Christian. Something is up, right? Something's going on. And here we are acting like this shit's normal. And then we see the guy raise the statue, satanic statue, and go, oh man, that sucks to be there. And what do we say? Thank God I don't live there. Guess what, guys? The thank God I don't live there in that area, your area is going to start getting smaller and smaller and smaller if something is not done. Another friend, yes, look up AI Church. There was a church sermon held, I think last year, and they used an AI voice. And I think they had an AI, like a digital screen of a dude. I don't know what, if he was black or whatever the fuck it was. I think he might have been black, but there was a whole sermon, and it was a church. And he didn't really talk about religion as he talked about like the human race and where we're going to be in the future. It was fucking crazy. I was reading it and I was like, whoa, are you kidding me? And people are flocking to that. Then you got people flocking to, again, satanic churches. There is a problem, guys, if this is going on and the Catholic Church is losing. Because there was a church around the firehouse, when I was talking to the priest, he said that a lot of churches all over the nation are losing their followers. But yet, these other churches popping up are gaining followers. Something has to be done, like today, tomorrow. But anyway, I'm watching what's going on with the kids, guys, and I'm not fucking liking it at all. And I'm worried about it because this is going to be a generational thing, right? This is not going to be like, you know, today, tomorrow, the next day. This is going to be the course of the next few decades of them finally converting everybody into where they want, or lessening the amount of Christians that are out there. It's a war, and we are missing the entire thing. We are watching evil win at every fucking turn. Every turn. You had women talking about prostitution's my job. That's my job. You're not going to shame me about it. Wait a minute. So banging dudes all over the place, and they're trying to make that good. They're trying to make that right. They're trying to get sex workers their dignity and making it right. How the fuck is that possible? Listen, don't get me wrong. In my heydays, in my younger days, you looked at porn, you were like, oh man, look at that chick, right? But now you're older and you see what it's worth. And you might still look at it here and there. But prostitution? And again, it's something like, not that prostitution can be stopped, but the sex trafficking industry can be. And we're not doing anything about it. We're focused on the wrong things. We're focused on the wrong things. We are telling people, well, it's okay that your kid sits in front of a drag queen in story time. Meanwhile, the drag queen is not story timing anything. I just saw a video 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. It was supposed to be a drag queen story time show. But this drag queen, it was a guy, but I think he had breast augmentation, and he was shaking his titties in front of kids. But then saw the kid and goes, "Oh wait, let me not shake him in front of the kid." Takes 10 steps back and then starts shaking him again. What? How the? But The parents that bring their kids to these events, what are they thinking? And then the parents are going, oh, it's okay? No, it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay by a long shot. But again, that is the evil that's allowed to be normalized. And they're normalizing, guys, a lot of evil. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, guys, again, not being very religious, I do still battle with the religious thing. So excuse me if I sounded like at some point I was all over the place. I still have my issues with the Bible, or rather with the book. Sorry. But I also know, guys, I also know that what's going on with the kids today, that's going on with the world today, is not fucking normal. It's not. And the fact that they're attacking the church, they're attacking Christians around the world, I might add. Not even just here in the United States, around the world. I think that the Vatican was infiltrated. Again, that's my personal opinion. I think it was infiltrated. And I think the person who sits there now is not a man of God. And why do I have that? Again, I'm not religious, but when I see this dude, that's what I think. I'm looking at this guy like, I do not trust him, the Pope. I do not trust this man. So something isn't right with him. But we have too many bad things going on. And we have to focus on the future. And the future is the kids. And we have to protect them at all costs, guys, even if that means sacrificing yourself. As long as they get out of that situation, that is, you know. Don't get me wrong. Don't run into a completely burning, engulfed building for kids that are probably already burned. I'm not saying do that. But if you have a chance to grab a kid and you might get hurt in the process, fuck it. It is what it is. Like I said, man, there's something about this Pope I just don't like. He rubs me the wrong way. And then he says certain things, and he's sort of all over the place too. For being a man of God, he's all over the place. He's like, well, you know, the transgender thing, it's not good. And then he said, but it is good. But as long as they don't harm anybody, you know, well, gays, you know, I mean, they're just people too, you know, like, I mean, he's like, but as long as they don't do this and they don't do that, and I'm like, all right, fine. And then he's like, yeah, but you know, the war in Palestine and Israel has to stop it. I'm like, dude, that is not your position as a man of God. You're supposed to sit there and create peace. You're not supposed to blame sides, pick sides rather, sorry. You're supposed to create peace. You're supposed to be the world's greatest mediator as a pope. The Pope comes into somewhere and he's like, yo, guys, cut the shit out. Let's sit down and talk about it. I'm a man of God. That's what the Pope is supposed to say. But he doesn't do that. Fucking guy picks sides. Who the fuck picks sides with a powerful position like that? Man, I'm like, is it me or am I wrong? Did I fuck this up? Did I get that wrong? I don't know. Full of hope, man. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, man, I'm not feeling that dude at all. And some people like, well, you know, he's just what? Enough already. You're supposed to look at the book and go, these are the rules we follow. You're not supposed to look at the book and go, you know what? Well, we could get rid of this rule. We can get rid of that one. You're not supposed to deviate from the book if you are following the book and you're the man of God. Again, I could be wrong. I might have missed a day in Pope school. I don't know. But something ain't right with that dude. Now, we were supposed to talk about MS-13 tonight. We will talk about it Friday night, Thursday night. I am working. Friday night, I'll have a live stream. We're going to talk about MS-13, guys, and the bad that's coming down with them. Now, I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth. With the Angry Truth tonight, guys, we're going to talk about the colleges. We're going to talk about why the colleges are like this. And again, a lot of us know why it's this way. But, yeah, man. They had it coming to them. They wanted this. They wanted to teach this shit. They had it coming to them. And lo and behold, it's fucking kicking them in the dick. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go off the air. I'm going to jump onto the Angry Truth channel. I will see some of you guys over there. I'll see the rest of you guys Friday night. Thank you, and yeah, see you guys around.